Okay, I'm just going to start this video off saying that I'm very excited making this video because this is about my trip to Bavaria, southern Germany. It's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to come to Germany to see Bavaria, and yeah, I went. So yeah, I'm just going to talk about my trip. Excited to share this with you, so I'll probably forget a bunch of stuff. I'll probably say some stupid things, but just bear in mind I'm very excited making this. And yeah, so Kevin and I went to Bavaria the 16th through the 20th, and so we had just gotten back from Norway that Monday, I think. So we came back to Frankfurt here and we finished a project with our group for international marketing. Yes, I'm actually in school, believe it or not. So we finished the project on Wednesday evening, and after that we're like, yep, probably should go somewhere tomorrow, probably should go on a trip. So we pretty much book everything Wednesday and make all the plans Wednesday before we leave on Thursday morning. So with that in mind, I will explain to you what we did over like a quick run through of like our schedule, kind of like I did for Norway. So yeah, I'll just get started. So Thursday morning we left Frankfurt here at I think 6:18 in the morning, so very early. We went to Berlin and we actually met some dude that we met online, I guess. Kind of there's like an organized hitchhiking that you can do here in Germany. It's called carpooling. I don't know how to say the word in German. Yeah, so so we met this guy in Berlin at this place, and he's gonna drive us to Nuremberg for like 25 euro, so pretty cheap. He drove a dark blue Opel, and it's funny because there was two other girls that rode with us that we had just met there, and it's funny that one of them didn't come to the right place, so the guy was super mad and he was freaking out at her in German over the phone, and we could hear him. It's just kind of funny hearing how mad he was, but we ended up actually meeting her, and then we head out of Berlin, and we actually take the Autobahn to Nuremberg, which is kind of exciting. It's kind of one of those things that growing up as a kid, it's something you want to do, kind of. So it was pretty cool being on the Autobahn. From Berlin to Nuremberg is pretty interesting. There's wind farms the entire way, like they're everywhere. You think like in western Kansas where you see like the farm out there and hit by haze. This was like the entire stretch, like the whole place was full of windmills. So about the Autobahn, we were like cruising at like 140 kilometers per hour, which is like 85 miles per hour, I guess. And there was people just zooming past us every once in a while on the left, and they were mostly Audis and Mercedes, just a random thing, I guess. So we got to Nuremberg, and right away you could tell the difference of just the people, and the town and the culture is very different from East Germany. I don't know, you could just feel that they're more German and more friendly and more willing to help you. That's where we met a lady that kind of like pointed us in the right direction to find our hostel. And so yeah, we checked into our hostel, and we were just kind of walking around the city and just noticing how beautiful it was and how picturesque it was. Like I couldn't stop smiling. It was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually here. Yeah, such a beautiful place. And just like the buildings, you think of like a German building, you kind of think of like the wood things on the outside. I don't know what they're called. Not a doctor. and there's flower pots like hanging out the windows, which is like so perfect. Beautiful flowers. I know it sounds kind of girly, but whatever. It's just cool to see that. And there's pretzel stands everywhere, just in the street, and some of them like were as big as like a steering wheel, like huge freaking pretzels. um, yeah, Thursday. So later on Thursday, that lady that we actually met and told us about directions, she was like, okay, if you're here, you have to come check out this beer fest that's actually starting today. So we went there and checked it out. You probably saw in my last vlog the video from that. It's pretty sweet because everyone dressed up, and again, it's just so German. The culture there were just incredible. Like you can't not love a place like that where people's happy and they're patriotic and things. Like so good, so good. Yeah, another thing about the beer fest, it was kind of interesting. You buy here, I'll show you. You buy these steins and in like a cellar, like you just walk up to these people, and it's just like a wall, not even like a shop, and you would get it's called Moss beer, and the good kind was like the fest beer. That's what you ordered because it's a festival. So you like, I want Ein Fest beer. So you get that, and it's like you initially pay €13, and then if you want to refill it again, it's another €8. So you kind of get the thing for €5. So I just kept it. And they weren't pouring; they're just like constantly pouring, and you just walk up and get the beer from them. They'd already have it poured and everything, so it's kind of cool. Very fast moving line, very German, I guess. Like they're just smarter. I don't know how it works out. So Friday we woke up and walked some more around in the city of Nuremberg and look at all the old churches and all the old buildings. Just seeing more of the city. Like, ooh, Nuremberg, just thinking about it, it's so perfect. I don't know. I don't even know why. Like, it's just sweet. And later Friday, we go to Munich via the Deutsche Bahn train. And we get there kind of late in the evening. It's kind of rainy, kind of crappy. So we just kind of walk around the city center a little bit. We find where the Glockenspiel was. And, like, that's a sweet clock. Oh my gosh, Big Ben has got nothing on the Glockenspiel. Just saying that right now. So later that day, we actually go to the Hofbrau House, which is like the super famous, super huge Munich brew pub, palace, I guess. Huge place, which is very sweet to see people dressed up there again. And it's not like tourists dressing up, it's like actual old Germans dressing up and listening to German music in the place, like so picturesque, perfect. After that we just went back to bed, to the hostel, and Saturday we woke up and we actually toured Munich, which I will show like I did on my last vlog, which I thought was smart. Let me grab a pencil pointing device. And so first off, we walked everywhere. Like we didn't even pay for transportation anywhere. So this is Munich. Yeah, makes sense. This is where our hostel was the first night. And so we walked up here. This is where the Glockenspiel was. And then we looked at a bunch of churches up in this area, I think, and then we walked to the Parliament building, which is right here. The Maximilian, it's where they do their political stuff or whatever. Then we kind of walked back. Then we walked to our next place we stayed at, which was right here. It's a hotel, very nice place. All the hostels were booked, so we just kind of stayed there. People were so nice there. Like, what the heck? Surprisingly nice. Good breakfast too. That was key. So then we walked from there to the palace.